Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop Opinions Cuz Ahyeon had that mic looking for a restraining order. Oop.
How I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work.
1. I've officially had it with Ahyeon. I'm begging someone to take her mic and throw it in a river or something. Babymonster hit this cute radio stage recently with We Go Up, and sweetie, she went up alright, straight into the eardrum-shattering ozone layer. So let's set the scene. They're live, they've got broadcast headsets on, the song's cruising along fine, and then Ahyeon decides it's time to treat the ad-libs like an exorcism. She's not high-noting, she's not over-singing, she is straight up full-body screaming into the mic. We're talking raw, shrill, piercing, blow-your-ears-out high-frequency yelping that shot straight through the mix like a freaking fire alarm. You could see Chiquita's survival instincts kick in, one ear cup off, then the other. She looked like she was trying to abort the entire headset like it had caught fire, which it might as well have, because Ahyeon's vocals at that moment were a federal threat. And I don't care how many stands dress it up as passion or raw power. That is not over-singing, that is vocal violence. That split-second gesture sent the internet into full CSI mode. Is Chiquita annoyed? Is she shading Ahyeon? Is she protecting her hearing? Girl, probably all of the above. Clip went viral, trash outlets like Koreaboo picked it up, chaos unlocked. And let's get one thing straight, over-singing means you're melodramatic and extra, sure, but it still requires some technical sense. What Ahyeon did was clench her throat, hurl her voice into her chest and unleash a grating scream. Screaming is when your voice gets tense, you push too hard and the sound turns harsh instead of controlled. Now, when that kind of harsh high-pitched sound goes through radio or live stream audio systems, it becomes even sharper and louder. So when Ahyeon started screaming those ad-libs, the broadcast equipment made it sound way more piercing than it really was in the room. That's why Chiquita taking off her headphones looked so real. Loud sound bursts in closed headphones can literally sting your ears, but it's also why people online thought it was shade, because it happened right at the worst possible moment, honestly.
I don't think it was shade. Obviously, we haven't seen it, but I don't think it was shade. I think it's just not pleasant to in your ear, you know. I don't think Chiquita was like trying to.
or
It's
maybe
just,
she knows that Aeon's gonna go off, so yeah, let me
but
take it off.
but it was from how I understand it, it wasn't in the Ahyeon's part. It was just ad libs.
Yeah, so how would she know that she's about to go off?
No, but she when she went off, she heard it and she took it out.
Oh, you see, we need to see a clip.
Hold on, let me find this clip real
I
quick.
don't know, Lucas, we need to see a clip.
Okay, so I think it's this video. I'm not sure, but I kind of skimmed through it to see. I think it's here. I saw Chiquita moving her headpiece. Yeah, right now. I don't know. That the way Chiquita moved her earpiece to me just looked like she was just adjusting it.
But I mean, I feel like Aeon was doing
Right, I
most.
don't feel like Ahyeon was doing the most here either, unless this is not the video.
Based on the clip that the person showed us, it was like a different setting.
It was different setting.
Yeah, from based on what they were, because I thought they were referring to like that place where they were doing it. That's a radio station. I don't know. It could be this one, since it's new and fresh.
God damn.
But the reference photo that she had in her video, it wasn't that.
Let me see. There was another
But you
one.
found like her adjusting. Here we go.
This one?
Yeah, it looked like this one.
Let's see. Okay, it's this video. Yeah, we kind of skimmed through it a little bit. I saw it, but let's watch it all together. Yeah, a little too. Yeah, like
Her face kind of scrunched a little bit too.
considering she's doing an ad lib.
Yeah, and she want to hear herself sing too. So
Yeah,
she don't want to hear Aeon,
this
so
is
she's
this,
like, okay,
this
let me
is.
move this.
Hold up. Let me take this thing off so you guys can see.
She's trying to hear herself and focus on her singing.
Yeah.
And she's trying to focus on her part. That's wrong.
I think K-pop Spy's criticism is valid. Like in the previous video I pulled over 6 days ago. This is 10 days ago, so clearly they talked about it. Cause the previous video, yeah, I don't feel like Ahyeon was even doing too much.
Yeah.
This one here, I see what K-pop Spy is talking about.
I was gonna say if it was the same, then I would have said, Oh, she just knows when it gets to that part. Okay, let me just take off my ear. That says a pattern.
That was
But
it.
if this would happen before, oof.
Like even the facial expression
Yeah,
Shakira
you could
did.
tell.
Yeah, Shakira was kind of like, ooh.
Ugh. There
Yeah,
you
yeah, it's
go.
like,
It was a shine.
yeah.
It was a shine.
Mm-hmm. So,
Can you go down to the comments? Because I think everyone is like confused. Which video is it? Are we fighting?
nah.
But it's very interesting. It got picked up. That's good for them.
She was doing too much for an ad lib. Yeah.
Mm.
Where are we at? Stop screaming. This one, okay.
Honestly, both things can be true. The sound really was painfully loud and it also looked bad on camera. I mean, come on. She took off both ear cups like she was about to call HR. Of course, netizens ate that moment alive, and rightfully so, because no one wants to be orally assaulted during a live set. But let's talk about what's actually wrong here. YG. Poppy YG, what in the Minheejin are you doing? Ahyeon's raw vocal power is a tool, but y'all are treating it like a chainsaw in a jewelry store. Who in their right mind lets a teenage singer scream ad-libs in a 10K heavy frequency zone in a radio booth and thinks that's okay? This is why you don't hire producers who think power equals volume. She is not the problem. She's doing what you trained her to do. Flex live, over-deliver.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the last video. I don't think she's the problem. I think it's YG is praising her for that, and she keeps doing, because it feels like at this point it's getting more. She's doing it more and more and more. It used to be like only the high part of the song she would do it, and occasionally. But I feel like at this point it's like every performance, and apparently now doing ad libs too. So I feel like the only reason that's happening is she's getting praise for it. So she's like, oh, okay, people like that, so I need to keep doing it. I don't know.
Steamroll. But when fan spaces have been telling you for months that the tone is veering into shouty territory, that's not hater behavior.
But anyway, I don't think Chiquita was shading her though. Still, I think
I think that
Chiquita's
was a
response was a
natural
natural response, because sometimes, as I said in the last video too, sometimes when she goes like that high, like I don't take the earpiece out, but like I also like, god damn, like I have the same feeling that Chiquita did, because it doesn't always sound good in the ear.
Vocal coaching advice: either lower the freaking key, rewrite the ad-libs, or coach her to support. But no. Instead, we're training her to believe volume equals emotion. And that's exactly how a talented girl ends up sounding like an air horn by 23. There is a way to sing powerfully without sounding like you're self-destructing. But right now, singing, she's yelling, like literally shouting every time I hear her live. Her whole body language tells on her. Face scrunched, body tensed, like she's trying to give herself a hernia for the high note. Sis looks like she's short-circuiting on stage. Who the heck told her this was healthy? Who told her that looking like you're about to combust mid-note is good stage presence? Fire them immediately. And with all that effort, all that noise, she's not even consistent. Her vocals are wobbly. And don't even get me started on her choreo. It's either 200% extra like she's trying to outdance Beyonce, or she's barely moving. There's no middle ground. She swings from look at me outshine everyone to girl are you even trying, depending on the beat drop.
I think that might be, because she gets criticized a lot. Then, K-pop Spy does it too. She's the one criticizing her, because when she's doesn't do too much, it's like, oh, she's too stationary. Then she starts doing stuff. Oh, she does too much. Then she kind of gets discouraged again. She's like, okay, I can't do nothing. So I think the energy being like either super high or super low, I think her response to criticism, and I think that's what it is, because otherwise I don't really have an explanation.
It's unbalanced and chaotic, and it's dragging the group's already messy dynamic through the mud. And yeah, maybe part of the problem is YG handing her high notes that aren't even in her range, that alone deserves jail time. Because now she's overcompensating with power and movement instead of refining tone or actual musicality. And before the Ahyeon's voice is naturally high, crowd starts crying in my mentions, so is in mixes Lily. But Lily stays on pitch, uses her support, and doesn't act like volume equals skill. Lily knows her own power. Ahyeon, on the other hand, looks like someone lied to her face and told her vocal strain is slayage. Also, back to Chiquita real quick. Y'all need to stop with the she hates her edits. That's not beef. That's normal audio engineering behavior. Anyone who's been in a studio knows you
She
rip your
hates her
headset off
edits.
immediately.
What does that mean?
Like, I guess when people clip like the moments.
Oh, how can we know if she hates it or not? We don't know that.
If something peaks like that, the only thing she's guilty of is not hiding her agony better. Blame YG for putting them in that situation. And yes, I fully believe Ahyeon doesn't deserve the harassment she's gotten. She's young, she's talented, and she's still learning. But this style of overperforming is becoming self-sabotage, and it's getting worse. If you floor the gas pedal non-stop, you will crash. 2 is
Yeah, as I said, I don't think this is her fault in a sense that she is doing it. I understand that, but I do think this is training. That I think she's people are telling her to do that, or at least when she does it, they're saying, "Oh, good job," or "Oh,
Yeah,
we
they're
like that."
reaffirming it.
I think, yeah, I think that's the case. I don't think it's fair to like, because she's very young. She doesn't really understand it. That's what you have coaches for, and even as a older singer too, you have coaches for that exact reason. I think she just needs somebody needs to coach her a little bit better.
EJ a hypocrite? Or are y'all just too lazy to read past a headline? The witch hunt started on October 15th when she dared to say what should be the most uncontroversial take of the decade. K-pop is Korean pop, so maybe, just maybe, Korean should still be in the songs? Groundbreaking, jail her. She literally said, and I quote, that she understands why English is used for global reach, and she's not mad about it. Her entire point was, use both, blend them, don't erase Korean entirely, fusion, not takeover. That was the message. But the second she opened her mouth, the Stan mob turned on their screen recorders and stripped it down to EJ hates English.
That's not how I remember the message, to be fair. I think the message said what she said is there's too much English nowadays in K-pop songs. Not that to blend or whatever, which to me, K-pop Demon Hunters songs barely had any Korean in it. It had like one phrase and then the rest is English.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's more so what she was talking. I don't think what she said what K-pop Spy is saying. That might be her interpretation, but I think literally she said is that there's just too much English and Korean songs. There should be more Korean versus English. Which I disagree with her. I don't care for the Korean parts. I wish it was all English, but that's her opinion. She's entitled to that. I just don't think that's what she said.
As if she called for an English purge and the burning of Spotify US, and then came the receipts, the gotchas. But Golden is in English. You dropped an English ballad. You said Korean matters, but where is it, sis? Like, are y'all okay? Golden and the other Demon Hunters tracks were made for an English language Netflix movie. You think she went rogue and demanded that the soundtrack to an American streaming fantasy film be in full Hangul? No, that's not how licensing works. That's not how studios work. That's not even how basic industry logic works. She doesn't own the freaking movie. She's not the executive producer in a fur coat swinging a cigar. She's a songwriter hired to deliver what the studio brief told her to deliver. And you think she's gonna turn to Netflix and say, actually, I'd like to insert a fully Korean bridge to reclaim my cultural identity? No, she said yes ma'am and did
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
her job, be serious. And yet, the moment her October 24th solo single In Another World dropped, a full English ballad mind you, people lined up to drag her like it was Black Friday at Cancel Mart. Oh, you said Korean matters but you dropped this? As if she didn't just spend a full press conference saying she wants fusion. As if she didn't literally state that she added Korean lines to Demon Hunters on purpose. But of course nuance is illegal on Stan Twitter. One quote out of context and she's suddenly a language traitor. EJ was talking about a trend. She said she wants to preserve Korean lyrics in a genre that's getting algorithmically diluted into English slop. And she's not wrong. The industry is leaning dangerously close to stripping the K out of K-pop, just like we used to have fully Korean verses with Crazy or Baby tossed in for spice. We're now heading toward English song with one Hangul ad-lib at the end to meet quota. By the way, Hangul is the Korean alphabet. Koreans becoming the parsley garnish on a Western salad. So no, she's not saying ban English, she's saying don't erase your roots. And if your brain still goes, but she's saying in English, you missed the plot again. But EJ babe, let's not pretend you're blameless either. If you're gonna speak on something as nuclear as language identity in K-pop, own it. You knew the moment you said Korean should stay in K-pop that people were gonna line up to audit your catalog. You said the right thing in the presser, but the pull quote ran off without the paragraph.
We talked about this. She's not a K-pop idol. To me, like she's American Korean, but she's not part of the group. She did train at least what K-pop Spy said. She trained at SM and SM rejected her. So she never became an idol. So if she's not a K-pop idol, she's not talking about herself. She's talking about K-pop. She's not K-pop.
But you can also imagine in the critic's perspective that she's like one of the biggest acts right now in terms of popularity. And this can classify her as not really being really Korean. That's her more catering to her American side. Because they did that to Shakira. Because when Shakira came out with her new album and it was songs in English, everyone was like in Latin market,
Right.
okay, you're turning your back on us. You're selling out
Yeah.
essentially to the West to gain popularity and turning back on your culture. So I feel like it's the similar argument, similar situation that, over time, I think she will show and they will see that she represents both, that both can coexist and not have this animosity towards her, because from what their perspective is, there's an erasure of Korean music, K-pop for what it was before, because what it was before, it had a lot of Korean words in it.
Yeah, but
Now you see it slowly moving English. Now the whole song is in English. So we're assuming everyone from South Korea who are supporting these artists can all speak English. We know they can't.
the thing is, not every Korean is a K-pop artist. She was talking about specifically about K-pop. She was not saying
I feel like maybe
Korean
because-
music,
but she came
music
on
by
the-
Koreans. She said
Yeah.
K-pop. She's not a K-pop
But her
artist.
movie was K-pop.
Yeah,
K-pop Demon Hunters.
but we're not talking about the movie. We're talking about her solo song.
Yeah, but how does everyone know her? Because of her popularity that she gained from that film.
Okay, fair. But that's a soundtrack song. We never judge people for the soundtrack song. Like even when we react, and we
We
react.
don't, but people do.
Okay.
For all they
fair,
know,
I
she's
guess.
Rumi. Is that Rumi?
Yeah, but again, I still feel the same way.
I think it's the same
As-
thing that they did to Shakira. The same thing. Whatever happens when there's an artist that people feel like should be boxed into one culture, is now like focusing on the West. It creates an issue. Because that could have been someone else from South Korea who could have had this breakout situation. going on.
That is very factual. Honestly, she
Mhm.
just got lucky that she got
Yeah,
picked. It could have been
yeah,
anybody. Like it
yeah,
literally
yeah,
could have
yeah.
not. Okay, obviously not anybody,
I
but
mean, it's still her
anybody
effort,
from
but
music industry that is of Korean descent. So she
'cause I
got
feel
lucky.
like that's how they see it.
I mean, they're not wrong. She did get lucky. That is pure luck that she got picked. I don't think there was somebody else could have been picked. That was just lucky.
And now the vultures are circling. Next time,
there's
spell it
nothing
out
wrong being
louder.
lucky.
Yes, I sing in English, but I fight to preserve Korean lyrics when I can. Say it with your chest. Now let's talk about her debut single, In Another World. The song no one knew existed until they tripped over.
I mean, we talked about it. She already talked about it. What the fuck is going on here?
No one knew existed.
I don't know. Well, to be fair, we didn't know it existed until K-pop Spy talked about it. Then we reacted to it
We did
afterwards.
see that it got quite a jump.
It did get a jump, yeah. It did get a
So
jump.
why?
Because K-pop Spy talked about it. I don't know. Okay.
With CBX notably missing, CBX's company A&B 100 finally crawled out of hiding with a full dragged-out lawyer-checked statement. And let me tell you, it's messy in all the wrong ways. According to them, CBX has been trying to play nice since July 9th, begging to be part of the full group EXO comeback. On September 10th, they claim both sides exchanged actual terms. Then we hit October 2nd, second court mediation, where CBX says they accepted every single one of SM's conditions for a year-end group comeback, which sounds all noble in K-drama if it wasn't followed by SM announcing a December fan meeting and early 2026 album with CBX completely ghosted. SM basically hit them with the new phone, who dis energy via lawyers. So CBX, being in their desperate era, cleared their entire December schedule waiting for a green light that never came. Now basically, CBX says we're still hoping to participate. SM says you still owe us coins, sweetie. CBX claim they agreed to everything SM asked for, but SM said they objected in court 2 weeks later and haven't paid the 10%, emphasizing that settlements and EXO activities are separate cases. And listen, as much as I'd love to say SM is the villain in this drama, they are historically. CBX is not exactly serving coherence here. If y'all really accepted everything on October 2nd, then explain the court objection filing on October 16th. You don't
Pay
accept
up.
all terms and then hit reverse Uno 2 weeks later. That's not negotiating, that's messy. Plus, we need to be real.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this yesterday. I felt like CBX is trying to save face, but they didn't pay up. It's really that simple. Pay up. Now, I don't know if paying up is going to solve everything, but that's the first step. You owe the money. If you want to work with them, you got to pay up. That there's no other way around it.
They signed that deal that says SM gets 10% of their solo revenue. Like, sorry babes, it's in the freaking paperwork. It's ugly. It's greedy, but it's contractual. So unless they can prove SM violated terms first, the court is not going to side with them. And here's where it gets confusing. On October 30th, CBX's company dropped another statement saying, and I quote, "We remain committed to paying 10% of revenue, and since litigation is currently underway,
Then
we
pay.
plan to fulfill this once an agreement is reached and the legal procedures are concluded." Translation, we're totally paying, just not right now because court stuff. Pinky.
Oh,
This is horrible. They don't have the
yeah.
money. They don't have the money.
this is a red flag.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Because
Oh my
usually this
God.
situation, 10%, if you feel like you had it, you would have paid it. Bloop.
This is one of those,
I don't
like, if you guys not American, I guess this phrase is not gonna resonate. But here in the States, there's a phrase, "The check is in the mail," which basically, like, because people still use checks here. So basically, you don't have the money now, but you say you paid, but you don't have the money now. So it's like, oh, the check is in the mail, meaning, oh yeah, you will have it like soon, because the mail, so about like a week. But you say you mailed the check, but you never really did because you don't have the money. So it's like it's the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's basically, oh yeah, we'll pay up, yeah, when the court settlement, but they don't have the money. They don't have the money.
But how?
I don't know. I feel like Baekhyun was successful. We reacted. It was good
But
music.
does everybody have the money? Because it can't be just Baekhyun.
Well, it's the label, so they make out. What Chen? We saw Chen. Chen was pretty good too. I don't know how successful he was, but the music was pretty good. And
the
X
third,
Human. I don't. The name is vaguely familiar. Maybe we've seen him once.
isn't it? Maybe they all don't have the money together because everyone have to contribute their part.
Well, it's
It can't
not.
be possible all three of them
It's
have
not
the money.
them. It's the label.
Yes.
So the label should have. I mean, it's just.
But don't they work through their label? Don't the label get paid for their work? So
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
had a
To
successful
me,
project.
it's just mismanagement of funds. Because I feel like if you know you owe 10%, that 10% should have been in
It's sitting,
escrow.
yes,
Yeah.
it's sitting there.
Because if you don't have it now, that means
Yeah.
you never accounted for it. You never intended to pay it. I don't know, but
He
sounds like they don't have the money.
promise. And while I absolutely sympathize with CBX, SM have this in the bag. And even if CBX folds,
I wonder how
pays the
much it is
10%
now.
and gives SM a handwritten
It's whatever they declare.
Well,
They have to do.
Com-
Maybe it's a long time for them to assess how
common
much profits,
sense-
expenses. Maybe it's just time and effort to calculate what that 10% looks like.
common sense says it's 10% plus interest at this point, so I don't know what they go.
an apology in blood. SM is still gonna hold a grudge. They've already said the trust is broken. And if this OT6 comeback does even decently, which, duh, it's EXO, of course it will, what incentive does SM have to bring CBX back? Zero, none, nada. In fact, they'll use the success of the comeback as proof that we don't need the traitors, and quietly erase CBX like a bad
Yeah.
subplot.
Yeah, I feel the same as K-pop Spy. I sympathize with CBI. I like, we watch Baekhyun Chan. I like their music. I think they're good artists. I don't know if they're good people. They're good artists. But in this case, SM is right.
nice. He seems nice.
I mean, only what we see on the camera. But SM is correct, and this is again what we just watched today with Minhee-jin versus not Minhee-jin, Adore versus New Jeans. Adore was just correct. So here SM is just correct. They have to pay up. If they don't pay up,
I put this shut up, and I drop them because I don't care. Okay, guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.